Okay, guys, it's a pleasure having you here again. You're welcome back to the CSA Forex channel. And of course, my name is Tolu. Yes, I just want to quickly just address one or two things, especially what happened this week in the market, which was rather very, on the crazy side. Of course, we know inflation has been the talk of the town all over the world globally. And of course, inflation didn't just start from the war in Ukraine. You ask me, it started all the way back from the pandemic. It has been a build-up. It was not an overnight thing. And of course, inflation is going to still be with us for a while. And that's why, as you can see, the central banks have been hiking rates back to back, trying to slow down and, try to curb the rise in inflation, which obviously would easily lead to recession. And there are talks here and there that the US happen to be in recession now, but then July's data, NFP for the employment stated that they had a whooping a good number, 528K, which was actually good. So there's still some, confusion here, there. Are they in recession or not? It's more or less the second quarter of non-economic growth for the US. But at the same time, I always say that time will tell, only time will tell. So you have to wait a bit more to see how things unfold. But the major thing that happened this week that I want us to just quickly address, quickly talk about. And then before I even say it, please, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell as we will try and be doing more videos, timely videos that would even give you heads up, as to what will be happening. Also, we'll try and be going live, right? Probably before any major news updates, any news release. This week, Wednesday, we had the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and trust me, that was heavy. As I'm talking now, you watching this, you already know what must have happened. Maybe not to you, or maybe to somebody that you know. All right, like people that I know that I chatted with, some people lost a whole lot of money, up to about five uh, digits in dollars. Some people even crashed their whole account, right? Because the CPI came with the thunder, right? It came with that much volatility where you had the likes of spread increments. It's not even the spread increment that was very key or crazy. It was more of the slippage. Yeah, the slippage. Slippage now has to do with you set your stop loss, take profit somewhere, or even your pending orders. Because slippage affects pending orders majorly. And your stop loss and take profit are pending orders as well. They're pending orders, right, for a close, while you have the open pending orders, the likes of the limit and stop pending orders for buy and sell. But then people were complaining really because of the losses that they had. Excuse me. Imagine only planning for maybe like 20 pips stop loss, and then you end up having like 70, 80 pips stop loss, just to show you how crazy the slippage was. And I'll tell you one thing for a fact, please do not rush and blame brokers. This was not an occurrence based on the brokers, but more of the market. You need to understand the key elements when it comes to trading, which are the trader, the strategy, the broker, and the market. This was not a thing of your strategy. It was not a thing of you. It was not a thing of the broker, but of the market. And that's why I was sounding the alarm that during this period, the volatility was going to be high, especially based on inflation, recession, and the likes of them. And then lo and behold, when it came, I was even lucky I was on the right side for the trades that I was in. I was long Euro USD, then pound USD, and then I was short on the dollar card. And we made about 375 pips in just one day, right? Which was good, which was awesome. But that's not what it's even about. It's about protecting your account. So please, one thing you need to note is that before you start placing trades, you can watch one of my previous videos where I talked about my step-by-step process procedure before I jump into the market. I always check on the news for the day. Number one, if it's a high impact news, then I tend to tidy up my trades. At times, If my trade has not fully gone in my favor and the news is about to pop, is about to drop, I would easily close that trade and then I'll just sit on my hands, right? So the things we need to understand of what happened. And based on that news, negative data that came out for the CPI, the dollar was extremely weak. And then the dollar got back to this level here on the daily time frame, go back to, we call it the psychological round number, which is 105, 105. And you can see it is presently around the 105 marker. More or less, most likely is going to end around this area. And one thing I will tell you going into even next week's data, right? Because now from this major bullish run for the dollar, it needs to retrace significantly. And that's why some traders use like the Fibonacci retracement, and they're waiting for maybe like the 38.2, or rather they're waiting for like the 50 or 61.8, because those are the more powerful levels. Let me just show you what we're talking about, right? From the lows over here to the highs, I draw the Fibonacci, not even the 23.6 or the 38.2, but rather the 50 and then the 61.8 markers. That simply means that there's still room to the downside. Yes, there's still room to the downside. And for me on this particular chart, next week, I would like to see maybe a little appreciation. Sorry about that. Appreciation, right? And then, oops, sorry, what am I doing? I like to see a little appreciation, and then let me just delete this. Sorry, little appreciation, and then it drops back to this area here of around 103 or 101. And if this happens, we should see the Euro USD appreciate some more. And if this happens, we should see gold appreciate some more as well, right? And this is from the higher time frames. The higher time frames are always key for a longer analysis point of view, right? Viewpoint. So always make sure that you pay attention to what's happening from the longer time frame perspective. So I just said, let me just share this quick one, especially based on what happened this week, based on the CPI, and of course, the damage that was caused in the market. Now, let me just quickly add this. For you to avoid unnecessary losses like that, the first way is not to trade that period. You can sit on your hands and just observe. Or another way for you to avoid unnecessary losses is to ensure your stop loss is in place. When the news is about to drop, you decide to tighten up your stop. And if you are in good profit before then, you can do partial close. You can close part of it. You can throw your stop. So even if it reverses or whatever the case might be, the losses will not be that major for your account. So I'm going to round up now. We're going to just call it short here. And then we will meet up again. I'm going to do something. I'm going to be going live soon. I'm going to be going more of live and then be updating this channel with more videos on things that are happening. Because I can tell you for a fact that a lot of people have been reaching out to me this week, especially based on the post I was making here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and other channels as well, talking about the CPI, because I was getting way too many reports, way too many feedback that I had losses, big losses. I had crashed accounts. I can show you screenshots and all. But then it happens. It has happened to me before. I've been a victim of slippage and the rest of them. But one thing I'll tell you now is that it's moving forward that is key. So if you've crashed account, do not let that deter you, or bring you down for too long. Shake it off. Today is Friday. Use the weekend to rest. Come back strong and then trade again. But please look out for the lives. Reach out if you have any questions and let's see how we can help you out. Right? So I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I hope what we've talked about, you've learned one or two things with respect to the CPI. Inflation is still with us, has been with us for a while. As I said at the very beginning, it's started from the build-up from the pandemic era, and then things started to get more expensive with the likes of gas, food, and all. And even, of course, the war in Ukraine added massively to it with respect to the gas sector. And then, of course, with respect to food, wheat, right? And things that happen all over the world with respect to the real estate sector, like in China and all of this. Trust me, the talks for another day. Let me just run up now, and I want to say thank you for tuning in. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Have any questions, comment in the section below. Smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and I will see you same time next week. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you guys. It has been a pleasure. Goodbye and God bless. Cheers.